Hello everybody, I'm back again. I managed, as I said in the video there, or up on the screen, I managed to sneak over there, and I wanted to just kind of take a look at the front yard and clean up any debris and leaves that were blowing around, and then just trim up this pampas grass here before I actually pull it so it doesn't get out of hand again. There's not much to cut there with the lawnmower, so to speak, but there's, still some small sticks and leaves and stuff. So, plus I put an edge on the driveway and the roadway. I had the camera set up, but I didn't turn it on, so I just ran the edger down it real quick. This is all I did. I just took my old riding lawnmower over here and went through this stuff. So, we're progressing along nicely. I'm going to be getting into the backyard here just a little bit in this video, and got some tree work started, and then more tree work coming up after that in the next video or two after. Just an awful lot of work, and again, I take my time doing it, so we're not in a big rush. Yeah. So I just wanted to say thanks again to all you folks for getting some great comments, great tips. Some concerned people about me taking my breaks and all that stuff. And I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. I just keep chipping away a little bit at a time. As I've said a few times before, it's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. I'm going to be glad to get rid of this pampas grass, though. Once I pull that out, that'll be nice. So anyway, my wife is very supportive of this, and she loves watching the videos herself. She keeps saying, "I'm amazed you can do that." She goes, I can't do that. I can't work like that, well, that's fine. I just do what I can do. Doesn't that look nice with the sun shining there, and you can actually see the house? Very, very pretty. So anyway, I'm getting some comments too. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. The last video, my apologies, failed experiments. I was attempting to do that POV, point of view, with the GoPro on the weed eater. I will do that again, but I'm realizing now that I have to be slow and deliberate with the weed eater, just for 30, 40 seconds. Very slow and deliberate, and not speed it up when I edit it, which I did. People were saying I'm making them sick and getting dizzy, and I felt the same way. It was horrible. I failed to, once I edit, once I put the soundtrack up and the narration, I failed to go through it again before I posted it to YouTube. So a whole bunch of errors on that video. I won't make that mistake again, or those mistakes again. Excuse me. In the sound going while I was talking, that doesn't work out too well unless I put it way down low, and then you don't really hear the sound. You hear my voice. So I think from now on, when I narrate, I'll just cut the sound out. If there's something that's cool to hear or neat to hear in the background, I'll just quit talking. So again, I won't make those mistakes again, hopefully. But I appreciate the patience. Everybody was very patient about it, and very nice. They were very good criticisms, and it helps me, and that's what I want. I don't want everybody to say, oh, everything was perfect, because it isn't. Whatever I need to do to make it better. So thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Once I get in the back after getting done the front here, I'll stop talking so much. Let the chainsaw work begin, and let you listen to that a little bit. It is very, very windy, and I've got to do something about my cameras and the microphones. I'm not sure if those fuzzy things, I think they refer to them as dead cats, which I don't like, but those fuzzy things that try to block the wind, I'll do something, because you get a lot of wind noise, and it is very windy. You'll see in the back when I get out there. So let's just finish up here in the front, and I'll see you when we get to the backyard. Well, we'll start getting at these two trees that some people had commented on earlier. We're going to get rid of some of these trees, and yes, the answer is we are. And you'll see that I'm just doing a little bit of work here. I've got some sticks piled up that I picked up over to the right when I freed up that trailer, but I'm going to have some more piles of limbs here after I get this tree down, and that one to the left, especially growing out of the ground right in front of that garage or that barn. So I'll be cutting that down. As I said, I did sharpen up my chainsaw blades, and they're working great on this little saw and my 18-inch saw. It's working good. So I picked up a little battery-operated 6-inch chainsaw. It's like a little battery drill, only it's a chainsaw, and I'll use that on little limbs and stuff along the way. I got Hopper, my dog, behind me here. He's looking out his window, and someone's walking by and he's starting to carry on about wanting to go out there and play with another dog. I walk Harper during the cooler weather. I usually walk him twice a day, or I have been. And then in the summer, I'd walk him just once early in the morning because it's so hot. And we walk anywhere from a mile to 3. However, I've noticed in the last I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months that he's really slowed down. And I'm forgetting that he's let's see, he's 11. He's 11, almost 12 years old. And I know in dog years and all that, I don't know if that, how old that is, but I've noticed he is slowing down. We notice when he jumps into our truck, the big truck, the Ford F-150. I have a stool there for him, and even that has gotten to where I should maybe put 2 steps for him to get in. But hey, I guess it's just he's like us. He's getting older and seems to be slowing down a bit. So we just, instead of walking now and just go straight out walking, I just let him sniff around and stop. And he's a sniffer. He's like a hunter. He wants to sniff everything along the way. So, and there's a lot of dogs that walk our neighborhood, so he's always smelling the other dogs. So I just let him go and let him go at his pace. I don't want to push the poor guy. A few years back, we were camp hosting, up at Pilot Mountain. It's north of Winston-Salem. I put a video up of Pilot Mountain. It's a state park, North Carolina State Park. It's the one with the knob. And Pilot Mountain is of Mayberry fame, if you will. In the Mayberry show, they used to go to Mount Pilot, and that's what they talk about, Pilot Mountain. It's actually a town, and it is a mountain also. But we were camp hosting up there for a month, which ended up to be 3 months because people were canceling. They just kept asking us to stay, so we did. At camp hosting, basically, you get a free campsite with full hookups, and my wife and I would go out and just basically clean out fire pits for people left. Make sure all the trash was picked up, and sell firewood in the afternoons. And it's a pretty simple job, actually. It wasn't really a job. It was just you'd be there and help the campers out, help people get signed in and stuff like that. But at any rate, it's a great trails, and Hopper and I would walk the trails every day. But to go up the mountain, if you ever Google Pilot Mountain State Park and see the trails and the steepness, they were pretty steep. And I think it was like the end of August or early September, him and I walked up to the top. We did that a few times, but this day it was too hot, and the poor guy, when he got up there, he was, I carry water for him. We stopped several times and give him water and things like that. In fact, we stopped and we were sitting on a rock, and a young couple were walking by, and they said, "You all right?" I said, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. The dog needed to stop," which was just a total lie. I was more tired than the dog was. But anyway, we got to the top, and Jocelyn drove up in the truck to pick us up top, and she said he doesn't look good. His eyes were kind of droopy, and he was, just didn't look good. He was overheated. So we got him in the camper in the air conditioning and gave him plenty of water. And yeah, within 30 minutes he was fine. So I won't make that mistake again. Anyway, that's my little doggy here behind me. This is the third bedroom in our house, and I have my desk in here, and we have a bed, a full-size bed, and that's kind of his bed. And he lays there and looks out the window. It faces the front of the house, the roadway. So anyway, he's a good pup. In fact, I'll put a little short video in here. I'll just mix it in here in just a minute of what he does when he wants something. I always get a kick out of it. So let me sign off, and I'll get that video posted of him. I'll just clip it right in the middle here. No. 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 What? What do you want? No. What? Come over here. What? Anyway, he does a lot of that. He'll make a sound like a bull almost and just shake his head back and forth. That was just a short one, but anyway, I get a kick out of him. He's my little buddy. He's our buddy. Yeah, both Jocelyn and I really. It's the three of us here, so we have a good time. At any rate, enough about the dog. He's a good one. They all are. They're great dogs. We can learn a lot from these animals. So I'm just continuing to cut up this small tree, this limb, and get these few trees cleared up and out of the way, and then get into some more serious tree work in the back to the right there. Once I get going, I've got a plan for all the limbs and brush. I'm not going to be hauling it off this time, so I've got a plan to get rid of it. I'll be doing that probably next week. So I'll post a video of that. But this was a lot of fun. I look back at how this yard looked, and even I'm amazed at the transformation and how nice this place must have been. Hopefully it'll be that nice again. So we'll get it cleared out anyway, and then go from there. My wife and I were talking the other day. We were talking about our grandparents and, just things from the past. It's funny. They say that, as you age, you can't remember what you had for breakfast, but you can remember what you did 50 years ago. And anyway, we were just kind of reminiscing, and when I went into basic, Jocelyn, my granddad had passed, my father's father. He had already passed away. And Jocelyn and our first child, our daughter, they actually stayed at my grandmother's house. She had a big house, so they stayed with her, and it was good for her and good for my wife and my daughter. But anyway, Grandma and Grandpa were teetotalers. They were staunch Baptists. In fact, my dad growing up said that on Sundays they could never go anywhere. They had to go to church and then sit in the parlor while they had company. They couldn't go to the lake or go play ball or anything any of the other kids did. And Dad always seemed to be hold a grudge against them for that. But anyway, they were teetotalers. Neither one of them ever had their driver's license. They never drove. My granddad used to walk to work, sometimes 8-9 miles, and they never used alcohol or anything like that. Well, Grandpa had a stroke. He had a couple of them actually, but the second one, he was in bad shape, and the doctor said to my grandmother, Alice, if you want to help him out and keep him alive, he's going to need, give him some brandy every now and then and keep him going. And she goes, oh no, he won't do that. He'll know, he won't take that. And he said, well, put it in his orange juice or something, but you're going to have to, just a little bit here and there to help him, And so she started doing that. She started putting brandy in his orange juice, and he lived for, I don't know, another 8-10 years. And we talk about it to my dad and mom later on, and after he did pass away, and said, boy, he's amazing. Even on when he was possibly going to die, he wouldn't take alcohol. My father said, "Oh, he knew darn well he had it. He just didn't let on that he did." In fact, he'd say, "Alice, can you get me another glass of orange juice?" And so he knew that he was having brandy in his orange juice. Well, that's a funny story from the past. They were super good. We had my kids didn't have the pleasure of being around their grandparents as kids growing up, because we were in the military. It's a whole different lifestyle, and the people that are in the military know that. But I was born and raised in a small town and lived there, until I married and until I joined the service, and my dad's parents, my grandparents, lived around the corner from us, and my mom's parents lived, just a couple miles away. So, we always had our grandparents there and our parents, and, it was, and my children didn't know that. They didn't have that, I'll say that luxury, but at the same time, it's a give and take thing. At the same time, they got to experience an awful lot more than I ever did. They saw more of the world, met different people and different cultures. Here's a couple people from New England, and we were stationed in the deep South in Mississippi, and so they'd never been around stuff like that. In fact, my son, when he started school, kindergarten, when he was kindergarten age, it was the first year that Mississippi actually had kindergarten in their school system. They used to just start out first grade. They didn't do kindergarten, and it was quite a thing, because he he went to school. He was a little blondie. I had blonde hair, and it was kind of long, not long, but kind of long. And after about a week, we had a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher said she said, "Boy, these kids are infatuated with your son," And I think it was either him and maybe one other were the only white children in the class, and he didn't know any different. And who cares, Being in the military, those things don't come into play. And the teacher said, I said, is he doing good? And she said, "Oh, he's doing wonderful. The kids are doing wonderful." So he got a big kick out of it. So, when I grew up, I didn't experience that stuff, and my kids did, like they said, they met different people, different cultures, different races. We had some real close friends from Guam, Philippines, Japanese. We had a Japanese lady that lived next door to us when we were stationed down there, and she was she loved the kids, Then the Germans, they loved the kids. So, at any rate, I think growing up in the military has benefited my children more than even I realize. I think I mentioned it before. My daughter is very outgoing. She makes friends easy, and my son he was the opposite. Of course, he's totally different now. He's like me. He's just a big ham. He he loves to talk, meet people, and so does my daughter. But they're great kids, and they're not kids anymore, but they're my kids, or our kids. So anyway, I'm going to sign off and let the video run out. Just picking up here, and you'll see that somebody had asked me, do I have put a winch on my trailer? I do have a winch. It's a hand-operated winch, but you'll see I'm using it to load up one of those old lawnmowers at the end here. But as always, it's good to talk with you folks, or talk at you, I guess would be more appropriate. Again, thank you so much for your support, for watching, for giving us thumbs up, and share the video with your friends. I've had comments from people that, hey, I used to work with a guy that you were his weapons instructor on the base, and I'm getting comments from Tasmania and France and Germany, and it's really great. It's a lot of fun to me. It really and truly is a lot of fun. The editing is a lot of fun. The work is enjoyable to me. Keeps me moving. So we're going to keep doing it. We're going to finish this job up, and I'll I'll go back periodically, you know, once I get everything done, and I'll go back periodically and do some maintenance work and put that up. But like I said, I've got some other projects for some, one for a disabled man close by here, and another for a single mother who's having gone through some hard times, so do some work for her. And I had a viewer that lives in North Carolina, not too far from me, and her name fails me, I'm sorry, but she said, geez, I'd love you to come down and help me with my landscaping, you know. And so I told her to send me an email, and I'll drive down and have a look and get to meet a viewer. That'd be kind of cool. Once again, folks, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you on the next one.